What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Young Kurd, Hudson Gueliano, and today I'm going to be doing my top 10 NBA players of all time. So, this list is based off of not just like a normal list that I see on YouTube. You know, people have like the list and it'll be like best player based off of accolades or like who would win in a 1v1. This is based off of who I think is a better player in any era. So 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, any era has to be combined with how they play today. And it has to be based off of accolades as well. So there's certain players that I have over others, and I'll get to that as I go on. So number one is Michael Jordan. He is the best two guard of all time and the best basketball player of all time. I have him over LeBron right now, and LeBron is at number two. Reasons why I have him over LeBron is because his record in the finals says a lot about him as a individual and how he didn't really lose. I understand the argument for LeBron. He has a less, how do I say it? He has a less talented team whenever he goes to the finals than Michael Jordan did, but he underperformed versus the Dallas Mavericks that first time, and I thought he underperformed. They won two in Miami, but the first two that he lost versus the Mavericks and the Suns, he choked, and that hurts him a lot. But I do believe that if LeBron wins another championship, he'll be the best player of all time, because the one thing that people knock on Michael Jordan is that he has more championships than LeBron James. That's the one thing they knock about LeBron and the record. So if LeBron can catch him, then I think Michael Jordan is always going to be a more talented player than LeBron James based off just talent, because LeBron has that frame that makes him more athletic, you know? So I still have Jordan at one, but in the next couple of years we'll see. So one is Jordan, two is LeBron, three is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, best center of all time, 6-time MVP, 6 finals MVPs, like just dominated. A lot of people would have Magic over him, but I have to go Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, best center of all time, most points scored of all time, like one of the best top 3 rebounders of all time, best post interior defender, best wing defender, could switch off the pick and roll. And then fourth, I have Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. That hits hard home to everybody. I'm a Boston Celtics fan in heart, but you grow up hating somebody so much that you end up envying them and loving them because of the player you are. You know, it's not actual hate. It's just on the court hate. Like, you don't want to see that player do good, but you obviously want to see him prosper in their life. But for a basketball standpoint, I have Kareem over Kobe because of rings and MVPs. Kobe only has that one, but Kobe does have 5 rings, but best one-on-one player of all time, hardest worker of all time, best scorer of all time. I think he's the best scorer of all time. I don't think there's anybody that could beat him in a one-on-one. And then 5, I have Magic Johnson at number 5. He's the best passer of all time. I don't see how anybody could make a list and not put Magic Johnson in their top 5, you know? He's the best scorer of all time. I mean, he's the best He's the best passer of all time. The way he wasn't the greatest three-point shooter of all time, but the way he spread the floor because of his passing made him such a threat. He has one more championship than Larry Bird, and that's why I have Larry Bird at 6th. So Larry Bird's at 6. He's the greatest Boston Celtic player of all time. He's one of the greatest players of all time. He gets discredited a lot. Tough as nails. One of the best scorers our game has ever seen. One of my favorite players of all time. One of the most underrated passers of all time. That dude could pass. One of the best three-point shooters of all time as well. And then 7, I have Bill Russell. And this is what I was talking about earlier. Wilt may be a better player than Bill Russell on a lot of people's standards, but Wilt didn't win. He didn't win in gold. He won in Golden State, obviously, but he didn't win enough in Golden State, and he didn't win enough with the Lakers. And Bill won 11 times, so that's why I have Bill right here and I have Wilt right here. Like it's extremely close, but Bill was a better defender than Wilt, but Wilt was all way better athletically. He was a freak of nature, but I have Bill over Wilt just because of the accolades. If you're asking me who I would think would win on a 1v1, I would have Wilt over Bill, but just because you're asking me who I think the greatest players of all time is, I have Bill. And at 7, I have no, 6 was Bill Russell. 7 was Wilt Chamberlain. At 8, I have my fault, y'all. I messed up. I have to let me just recount. MJ 1, Bron 2, Kareem 3, Kobe 4, Magic 5, Larry Bird 6, Bill Russell 7, Wilt 8. I got the counting wrong when I don't have anything. This is strictly first take off the dome, so I'm sorry if I stutter. That's 8. And then at 9, I have Tim Duncan. 5 championships. If you go watch him when they were playing Portland in like 01, he was averaging like 30 in a playoff series with 3 blocks and 12 rebounds and like 8 assists. Like, Jokic is like a modern day Tim Duncan, I think. Not as good of a scorer in the low post, but Jokic can expand the former, but not comparing them any to each other. Tim Duncan's an all-time great. And then the reason why I have him over these last 2 people is because of the rings that he has and the longevity of his career. So 10, I have a tie, Hakeem and Shaq. Some may say Shaq is lower in the list, higher, but to me it's hard because Shaq averaged 25.6 points for his first 10 years of his career, and then after that he just deteriorated into not as good as a player, where Hakeem and Bill and Kobe and all these players were elite the whole time throughout their career. Shaq has three championships with 2 with the Lakers and then 1 with the 05-06 Heat, and 2 of those he won Finals MVP, and with the Heat, he was a factor, but I think he was the 3rd best player on that team. It was Wade, Alonzo Mourning, then Shaq. So to be the 3rd best player on your team and it's only your 8th year in your career shows like that you started to deteriorate because of your body weight and stuff. So that Shaq's still in my top 10. And then with Hakeem, he won. I know a lot of people knock him because he won when Jordan was playing baseball, but he has 2 Finals MVPs and 2 Finals and regular season MVPs. He's one of only 3 players to win Finals MVP, and DPOY in the same season as along with Jordan and him. And then Giannis did it last year, but Giannis didn't win Finals MVP. So Giannis just won the MVP and the DPOY. But the Dream Shake, one of the most creative big man scorers of all time. So I got, one more time, I got MJ, LeBron, Kareem, Kobe, Magic, Larry, Bill, Wilt, Duncan, Shaq and Hakeem, 1A, 1B. And then I'd probably go Malone, Oscar, Pippen, AI, Rock, like those type of players. I haven't done the rest of my list too, but that's just Nate Archibald. Those are the Wes Unseld. Those are the people that come to my head, like when you think 10 through 25. So yeah, that's my top 10 players. I appreciate you all. I'm trying to make a name for myself. I know a lot about the NBA and football, but for right now, we're just focusing on the NBA. I love y'all, and I appreciate y'all. And stay safe.